So, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about Horizon Zero Dawn for the PS4. I recently went back and beat the game in preparation for Forbidden West that comes out next month. And I wanted to give a little bit of a review and my thoughts on this game. Now, it is made by Guerrilla Games, the same people behind the Killzone series, and it's at the time when this came out in 2017, I believe, they really took a bit of a gamble because they were mainly known for their Killzone series, a first-person shooter, and they went the complete opposite direction with an open-world action RPG that didn't even feature guns in the traditional sense, so they really went outside of their element, but they had a vision for a game that they really wanted to get into, that they really wanted to develop, and they went after it. And that alone is a lot of, it deserves a lot of praise and applaud for them, because not very many game developers these days really follow their passions. More and more game developers kind of follow what will get them sort of the best revenue, what will get them the most notoriety, but really a lot of it is just kind of following the dollar signs. But for Guerrilla Games, they really, and they're not the only ones that are like this, where they follow their passions, but they really followed their passion and they really put their all into this game. And they were genuinely pretty surprised that this game got as much praise as it did. And so basically, the basic premise of this game is you play as this character Aloy, and you're basically set in the future. I'm trying not to give too much away if you haven't played the game, but you're basically set in the future, and it's a post-apocalyptic world where everyone is the surviving human race is basically split up into different tribes and factions and things like that, and basically you are you're in the post-apocalyptic world, and you're dealing with these machines that are animal-like machines. So there's giraffe machines, there's horseback sort of machines, ram machines, various different types of animals, bird machines, flying machines and things like that. And they're all very purposefully animal-like in their nature and how they operate. And there's quite a few different animal types that I was genuinely very surprised to see in the game. Now, essentially you are just trying to survive in this world, and there's a big, deep story as to how humanity got to this point, where these machines came from, why they act the way that they do, and why they're hostile towards human beings. And I gotta say, the story in this game is phenomenal. I had played this game and I kind of gave up on it about halfway through. Some other games came up, and I just wanted to get back and play those games. And then I'm very glad that I came back to this game and actually beat the story, because basically where I left off about halfway through, that's where the game really picked up. I mean, it gripped you from the beginning, with a lot of different things going on. But yeah, in the middle it sort of dragged out a little bit, which is where I stopped. And then right when I picked up the game again, I must have just stopped right before one of the most interesting missions in the game. And so the plot is very intriguing. It really builds up this mystery of why the world is the way that it is. Why are people in these tribes the way that they are? And it really paints this fantastic mystery as to why things are happening. And with each mission, you get a little bit closer to solving that mystery. And with more bits of information that you get, you find out that you have 5 other questions for that one question that was answered. And I gotta say, they did a phenomenal job with the story. The graphics, if you've seen any other types of reviews or any other thoughts and impressions on the game, that I'm sure you've seen in every other video, they talk about the graphics, and it's true. It's very warranted that these graphics are some of the best on the PlayStation 4. I mean, just the beautiful looking out over the kind of there's areas in the game that are kind of like Grand Canyon kind of areas, where it's just a lot of orangey, brownish dirt, but it's just beautiful vistas that you can look out at. And then there's, lush wildlife areas where there's a lot of grass and beautiful trees and beautiful plants, different colored plants and things like that, and snowy areas. I mean, there's just a huge wide range of different environments that you can find yourself in, and the world is very large. There is so much to discover in the world. Lots of different side quests. The side quests aren't mind-blowing, groundbreaking, but there's a lot to do in the game. And I beat this game. I probably clocked in right at about 25 hours or so. And that was me just basically kind of breezing through the main story, but also spending some time of going back and just playing and beating down these large monsters, or these large machines, climbing the climbing and exploring different areas, and just kind of going from one snowy region and going on a trek over to the desert-like region and things like that. So there's a lot to do, a lot to explore in this game, and you could easily, if you wanted to really take your time and play the side quests and explore the different areas, you could easily clock in about 50 to 60 hours in the game. Definitely more, but if you really wanted to take your time, beat all the side quests, do everything that you could in the game, get all the armors, all the weapon upgrades, all the different weapon types, you can easily spend a good chunk of time playing this game, and it's a lot of fun. You feel very much in control when you are, your primary weapon is a bow and arrow against these machines, and it's very interesting how they do that. But it's you feel very powerful. You feel very in control. When you jump up while you're aiming your bow, time slows down so you can get that perfect shot. And it's a lot of fun. It is truly a blast. And if you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn, I highly recommend that you do, because it's just it's a phenomenal game, and it's very, very inexpensive. I think when I picked this up a couple months ago, it was about $7 or so. Very, very inexpensive. So if you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn, I highly, highly recommend that you do. And I give this game a play it rating, because it deserves to be played, and it deserves to be experienced, and it deserves for you to fully invest yourself into the world, because it's very, very fun, so much to do, and you won't regret spending time playing the game. So anyways, guys, I will catch you in the next one.